You can reverse engineer it and get into flow state every single time. Here it is. Flow equals clear goals plus immediate feedback plus balanced challenge times high consequence or deep focus. What's cool about this equation is that it isn't just theory. Our brains are wired for this. Here's a very practical way that you can implement this equation to get into flow state faster. 1. Set a crystal clear goal. I like using OKRs or objectives and key results, but you need a clearly defined outcome that moves you at a soul level. If you don't know what you're aiming for, you're gonna be working really hard in a random direction and you don't know if you're getting any closer or how far you are from that. So make sure you identify what that is before you even start implementing this at all. Use progress to your advantage and track it in real time as best as you can. Your brain thrives on feedback loops. Use this to your advantage to get positive reinforcements that fuels your next actions. And it's an exponential cycle from there. Next, find the right level of difficulty. Don't do something that's so outlandish, that's so difficult that for a fact you're not gonna be able to obtain it, but go for something that's just outside of your comfort zone that you know is gonna take a little bit of work, but it's not completely unattainable, and it has to be attainable within the period of time that you're working within. And lastly, raise the stakes. Maybe this means spending a lot more time trying to understand the why or the meaning behind why you're doing what you're doing. Or it could be some cheap thing that's like, I'll give my friend $100 if I don't accomplish this. Different things work for different people, so whichever one works for you, go with that. If that doesn't work, and or when that fails because you're tired or not nourished enough, at a certain level, you have to force yourself to get into that deeper focus and be diligent in eliminating those outside external distractions. When you do these things, flow stops being rare. It becomes the logical next step for your mind. Disclaimer, I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm just someone who went down the rabbit hole, applied what I found, and got some ridiculous results. So here's what I learned about flow. It's not just being in the zone. Your brain shifts into an entirely different mode. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that makes you overthink, shuts down. Hence why in flow it feels like time is moving by so quickly. Your brain floods with 3 chemicals: dopamine, norepinephrine, and this other one that I'm not gonna try to pronounce. These neurochemicals are known to boost your motivation, focus, and creativity. What's cool is that even muscle memory improves. That's why athletes, musicians, and top performers rely on flow to perform at their best. But it goes even deeper than that. Flow isn't a random thing that we figured out to get the grind done. It's actually built into our biology. Our ancestors didn't have the luxury of distraction or social media. When they were hunting, escaping danger, or solving high-stakes problems, they had to be locked in. The brain evolved to reward this deep, focused state because it meant the difference between survival and the alternative. So here's where the equation comes in. Before, I thought flow just happened when inspiration struck or when I was highly motivated to get something done. But when I saw this formula, I realized every time that I had gotten into flow state, every criteria of this equation was met. But flow isn't just about blocking distractions. It's about a sharp, clear mind. A foggy brain can't focus, no matter how good your setup is. This was such a big issue for me that I actually went out of my way to develop my own supplement just for this purpose. It took some iterations to get right, but I really feel like it does help me think clearer and to push past those subtle moments of discomfort that helps me get into flow state just that much easier. If you also deal with this brain fog and feel like you can't think as clearly, go check out the first link in the description. I'm actually making it available on Amazon here in the next few months, so go sign up with your email because I ordered a really small batch and they're most likely gonna go very quickly. I'm not saying I figured it all out, but this flow state equation definitely changed how I approach my work. I still feel like I've barely tapped into the surface of this whole flow state thing and the biological implications it has. It definitely helps you learn faster and it helps you be a lot more creative, and it's one of the most addicting things that you can do, apparently. And yet most people never tap into it. They stay stuck in shallow focus, distracted, multitasking, never experiencing what their mind is truly capable of. But if you apply this equation, even a couple of times, you'll start to see why people who operate this way operate at a way higher level. This has been a game changer for me, and I hope that if you've gotten even half of what I've said, that it will help you work in a way you've never worked before. All right, that's it. Here's to better things. Peace.